I have certain values. Can you all see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just making some data here. Okay. So now I have, so if I want to calculate the mean of this particular data set, I will just go ahead and take the average out of it. So this is my mean. I want to calculate the median out of it. I can just use the median formula. Okay. So now I can see the mean and median are very, very close to each other, 12.5 and 13. Okay. Now the moment I put some extreme value means the value which is pretty higher than what we can see here. If I put 50 here, okay, which is an extreme value. Okay. Now if I want to calculate the mean out of it, okay, so mean here is 14.5. If you want to calculate median here, it remains the same. So now you see an addition of 50 in a given observation, which is a kind of an extreme value, because earlier you see the value was between 10 to 15, okay, 12, 10, and now the moment the extreme values come into the data, you see the mean has increased from 12.5 to 14.5. However, median remains the same because median is calculated on the positional value, which is the central value. It doesn't matter how many extreme value comes into the picture, median will not get impacted because mean is a simple average. Likewise, if you spend 10,000 rupees every month for the next 5 months, okay, which means, and the moment you start spending 50,000 in one particular month, your average from 10,000 will improve from 10,000 to maybe 15 or 20,000. But if you calculate the median, it will not get impacted because it has not taken the simple average. It has just taken the middle value, maybe the middle value which is being there in a given data set. Is it clear to you now?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why if there are any extreme values in the data, in that particular case, we do not consider mean as a measure of central tendency. Then we consider median as a measure of central tendency. If there are no extreme values in the data, if there are values which are pretty much constant, then in that case, average or mean is the best measure of central tendency. Is it clear to you?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So my next question is, which is the best method for calculating variance when it comes to mean?
Standard deviation.
Standard deviation, okay. And what is the best measure of variance when it is median?
Quartile.
Quartiles. Why don't we take range instead of standard deviation? What is the difference between considering range and standard deviation while taking measure of dispersion or measure of variance?
In
So
a
range,
Range does not give us a good picture of overall spread, right? It's more of a difference between the maximum and the minimum value.
Okay.
It doesn't give us a picture of the central tendency at all. So whether the central tendency is at 50 or 5,000, the range the range will not give us a like a good picture of where it stands. It will just give a maximum minus minimum.
the two extreme observations that we have in the entire data set. So it is only taking into consideration the two extreme observations, the max and min.
However, in standard deviation, we focus on each and every value that we have, whether it's an extreme
Yes,
value
and how far it is from the mean.
and how far it is from mean. Absolutely. So well done. Because when we calculate the standard deviation, we focus it from the mean, not from the extreme values. Great. So I think by now everybody has understood the measure of central tendency. We have understood what is the relation between Y and X. We have also understand the different methodologies which we use in Six Sigma, DMA, DV, DMAC, DFSS, and we have also understood the definition of Six Sigma as well. So now, before we start with the new topic today, I just want to give you certain updates. So I had a discussion with the Henry Harvin team on the certifications, wherein most of you were asking that we just don't want to go for the test kind of a certification. We want to go for a project certification. So those who haven't heard or understood properly, I just want to start from the scratch. So after completion of this training, so we will complete our training on 18th of July.
Simar, just sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing your screen? Yeah, I'm not able to see it. Are you sharing?
No. I'm just sharing sharing a gyan here, not anything at the moment. And this is an update. So the update says, so last time a lot of you asked that we are very much interested in doing projects. We just don't want to focus only on the test. So the update here is, on 18th of July, if the schedule remains the same, we would be able to complete a black belt training. After this training, you all will be eligible for the black belt certification. I'm saying eligible, okay? So you would have probably 1 week or 2 weeks time to discuss as a group that when do we want to go for a certification, because I would not take certification or test from you separately. So all of us have to come on a same date and same timing. So we all can discuss as a team that when do we want to go for a black belt test. So let's say we all concluded that on 25th, which is 1 week later, we want to go for a Six Sigma test. Okay, and upon passing criteria for that test, you would be called as black belt certified by Henry Harvin. So that would be only test. But if anybody wants to go for a project kind of a certificate, clearly call out that he has done a project, then in that case, after completion of the training, you can get in touch with the team who have enrolled you, the person who, because we offer one dummy project every month. So in a year's time, you would have access to kind of 12 projects if you want to pick one project every year. Okay, which means that after this training, you still have a refresher trainings or any doubt session for the next 1 year, maybe from July 20 to July 21. And in that between so you will have 2 hours counseling every month. In that period, you'll be able to discuss your projects, you'll be able to identify your projects. And upon completion of that, you would get your Six Sigma Black Belt project certification as well. So that's the criteria for going for the project certification, which all of you are eligible, but you need to clear the test first. So if you clear the test, you become a black belt certified, then you can go for a black belt project certification as well.
Okay, so Simar, if I understood it correctly, so once we do appear for the exam, right, the test, and we clear it, we would be certified as black belt from Henry Harvin, and then we'll have this 1 year period available with us, wherein we can pick up any one project and work on it and clear it, right? And then probably you can just assess it, and then you will be certifying us again a black belt basis the project. Am I right?
Absolutely. And just to add, in these 12 months, you can have access to not only one project. If you want to do multiple projects also, we would give you that kind of support as well. So you can do as much project as you can in these 12 months.
Okay. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, so Simmerpreet, the project is something which is not a mandatory one for the certification. For the certification, the test exam is mandatory, right?
So Remy, the answer is correct. It is an optional kind of a stuff. So likewise, we were also discussing on Friday when I was recommending you and Piyush that you should go for a certification, where you said that I'm also working on a couple of projects. So this is an extensive support which we are providing. You would become black belt certified after completing the test also. It is not mandate, but since, as I said, you will be looked up as a black belt project certified in the near future, because if you would have access to project, you would be looked at that somebody who has implemented these principles practically in their day-to-day life also. So that's how your
Correct.
weight,
Yeah.
your weightage, your significance would be higher. So because
Okay.
as per the trend that we have, only 40 to 50%, I think it's 50-50, I would say, go for the second option as well. That for that you don't have to pay anything. It is kind of a free offer that which you have for
It's
everyone.
more of we need to invest our time, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah,
has to be
yeah,
more of efforts from our side.
And
And
yeah,
Sima,
yeah.
just one last question here. So, will it be applicable for only the dummy projects that Henry Harvin would be sharing, or I can offer any project from within my organization that I might have to work upon, and I'll be able to get the assistance on the same from your side?
So if you want to do any project of yours also, wherein
Right,
you have some live data, wherein you
right,
need some counseling, some help on it, hands on
right.
it, we would be providing that kind of an expertise also to you.
Okay, then that's really great. That would work really fine for
uh,
all of us. At
yeah,
least for me,
Simaprit,
and I'm working.
one. Sorry.
No, no,
So
go
Rahul,
ahead, Ratna. Go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah. Thanks, sir. And Simrit, one more thing, like when you said about the exam, like so when I enrolled, I had a word with Manish on this, that, and he said that so once the last session is done, from then in about 2 weeks onwards, you can take write the exam. However, there is no hard and fast fixed rule that you have to take the exam along with the entire batch or on a fixed particular day or date. You can take it on your own, time. So if I want to say write the exam in
Yeah,
a
so
month or
Simar,
2 months, I can do that.
s-
Yeah, it is
let
not to
me
be
let
dependent
me
on any
let me
other team members. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take all this FAQ regarding exam at some other point of time, because right now I'm in a mood to study. So all these questions like FAQs, even I have so many. So we can have a discussion, a lot of discussion on WhatsApp groups, and that's why we have all those. Can we just shift the whole attention to the class for just for some time, so that at least we could learn something before we think of exam, just for now. I mean, if that's okay with everybody. Like exam is the later part after the training. So can we just plan how are we going to take the questions around exams? Simmer, please help us on that. Hello, hello.
I think Sima will disconnected, so we'll
Yeah. So
wait
just
for him
just
to join.
yeah. So let's just discuss quickly that can we have all of us can have an alignment on all these questions. Like how are we going to have how will we get all these things discussed? Like we want to get it done during the classes, or shall
Uh,
we just?
yeah, actually, we have got the WhatsApp group, so
Yeah. That's what.
we
That's what.
discuss
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
That's
just to
what.
just to cut it short, also I think the flexibility for the exam is something that we can work with Manish on it, right? And maybe Simar would not be the right person for it. So that is something
Yeah.
we should be better able to answer. And right now, Ratna is correct. We can just focus on what we are here for, and just because it's already one
Yeah.
right that we have joined in, and we haven't started with the agenda for today.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what.
I agree. Yeah,
Focus on
agree.
that.
But because he had it as a special announcement and he wanted
Right,
to
right, right.
discuss this,
Point
so,
taken.
so that's why I believe this discussion sort of took place. That was
Yeah.
his announcement he wanted to make to all of us,